Namaste. This is my fourth video clipping wherein we will discuss the final products and the intermediate products. So final products and intermediate products again. Why do we need to understand about the final and the intermediate products? Because as part of domestic product and as part of the national product, you need to know what sort of products or what products become part of your domestic product or national product. So on to the topic, final product. Final product can be broken up into two, namely consumer product and investment product. So the very word consumer product tells you that the consumer households buy these products. Investment products are bought by firms and they will take care of capital formation process of the nation. So what do the consumer households buy? The consumer households buy variety of products for regular usage, some of which is going to last for a long time, some of which might get depleted just after one particular use. So we will see what are the various kinds of consumer products that consumers might be buying regularly. So starting with the single-use products, for instance, we do buy bread, milk, egg and so on, which will get over in a single use. So single-use product is a daily routine product that consumers buy. And then there are perishables like fruits and vegetables and so on. Immaterial of whether the product is going to be used or not, after the lapse of the time period, the product perishes. So we have the perishable commodities and then the non-durable commodities like your soaps and pastes and so on, which might last for a small period of time and you may be able to put it for quite a few uses, but then after a few uses it gets over. So such non-durable products are also there which the consumer households make use of regularly. Then the semi-durable products. Semi-durable products are those which last for a longer time period, say for instance a year. Clothes, the footwear that the population buys, after few uses, after a fairly long time period, exactly one year is the time period that I mentioned, so it may last for a year. So such products, they come under the semi-durable category, and then the durable products which is going to last for many uses and fairly a long time period like that of your television and refrigerator and so on. So generally the consumer households directly buy the products for consumption and which keeps them satisfied. So such are the single-use products, perishables, non-durables, semi-durables and the durable products. Some of us also enjoy certain services. So consumer services like banking and insurance, which the consumer households enjoy. Yeah. Or along with the products, there are some services, after sales service and maintenance services, professional services which we enjoy. Right? So consumer households, they do enjoy services and goods. So that comes under the category consumer products. What are capital products? Again, the very name says that capital products, they are invested upon by the firms and they lead to capital formation. For instance, machinery, installation which the firm makes to take care of the production activity, that would be the capital formation products or capital products. So these two categories, the consumer and the capital products, they make up the final product. Then you have the intermediate product category. The intermediate product category, it could be for resale or it could be bought by the producer. So the dealers, if they are going to buy the products from the producers for the purpose of resale, that is treated under the intermediate product category. And producers, they not only invest on machineries and installation, they are going to definitely buy raw materials which are going to get used up in the process of production. So all such non-factor inputs, raw materials which the firms are going to buy for the regular production process, they come under this category. So intermediate products, they are twofold. One is the resale, which is purchased by the dealers, and the other one is for further production, which is going to be purchased by the firms. So we'll move on to see some of the basic differences between the final products and the intermediate products. So you have understood that final products, they are bought by the consumer households and they may be bought by the firms. Whether they are going to be bought by the consumer households or by the firms, it is meant for direct consumption or direct usage. That is, it requires no further processing. The production process is completely over for such products and they are said to have crossed the boundary line of production. They are ready for direct usage. So they have a direct demand. The final consumer products, the final capital products, they have a direct demand and they have crossed the boundary line of production. So some examples, I think we've already seen some examples under the consumer category like bread, milk, television and so on. Under the capital category, you do have the machinery bought by the firms. Intermediate products, as the very name says, they are not ready for direct consumption. They are yet to cross the boundary line of production. They are meant to be processed or they are meant to be further produced. Some of them, they are bought by the dealers and they are meant for resale, and the rest, they are bought by the firms and there will be processing done or there will be further production required for such products, for such intermediate products. Now again, why are you reading up this final and intermediate product category? Because you'll have to understand that it is the value of the final products, which would be calculated for domestic product or national product. Why is it that you don't take up intermediate products for the calculation of domestic product or national product? Because the value of such intermediate product is already included as part of the final product. So it would be only the final product which would be considered for the domestic product or the national product calculation, right? So how will you now find out whether the product is going to be a consumer product or a producer product? The producer product, it can be again twofold. One is the capital formation product, which is basically a capital product, and then it can be an intermediate product like that of a raw material. So how will you find out whether the product is a final product or an intermediate product? A final product, consumer product, or a producer product? Ask the question as to for what use the product is going to be put to. End use. Check out the end use. Check out the end use of the product. Now, a very popular example is that of milk. Milk, it becomes a consumer product. It becomes a final product if it is going to be purchased by the consumer households for direct usage. So if the usage is going to be direct consumption, then that would be a consumer product. If milk is going to be purchased by a restaurant, then it is going to be converted into coffee or tea or some kind of milk sweet, and then it is going to be sold, resold. either the same form or in a different form. So it's going to be processed. So it's going to be processed or further produced. So milk over there that is purchased by restaurants, that's going to become an intermediate product. That is not going to be a final product. So to understand whether the product is a final product or an intermediate product, check out the end use of the product. Right? Now, moving on to the basic differences between consumer product and capital products. Number one, you have understood that consumer products have a direct demand. Capital product, they have a derived demand. So what's derived demand? Derived demand is the demand for certain products which is going to be based on the final product's demand. For example, if you take up the demand for milk, demand for milk can be a derived one if demand for milk product is going to increase, then definitely the demand for milk will also increase. So over there, demand for milk is derived because the product is going to be put to yet another use, namely to make milk sweets. Fine. So that is your derived demand concept. For most of the industrial products or producer products or capital goods, the demand is a derived demand. For consumer products in general, the demand is direct. For capital goods, the demand is a derived demand because the production units are going to further transform them, process them, and then convert the products into yet another product. So the capital goods, they have a derived demand. Right? Number two, the consumer products, they do not have the power to change the production capacity. Consumer products, they do not change the production capacity. Whereas capital goods, they change the production capacity. Now, what do I mean by that? Machinery, installation, these are all capital goods. Such capital goods, they change the production capacity. Yeah, the production capacity, it depends upon the capacity of the installed machinery. Say for instance, if the installation, if the machinery can give you 1000 units of some output, that's the installed capacity. Let's say that is a medium size installation. Now if you want to become a large scale producer, then you've got to install a bigger machine, a better machine. So you've got to put up a demand for another capital product which gives you that output. So when you change the production capacity, when you change the capital good requirement, you change the production capacity. Right? Then number three, consumer products in general, they have a limited time span. But for the durable products, the products, they have a limited time span. That is, they can be put to repeated usage for a specific period of time. And that is a limited time period. Whereas capital goods, generally again, if you take up the case of installation, machinery and so on, they last much longer. Now, that's a reason why capital goods, they undergo a depreciation, they need to be maintained and there is a replacement cost involved and so on. Right? So with that, now you have understood the basic differences between the consumer goods and the capital goods, and you have also understood the basic differences between the final good and the intermediate good. So to conclude, final goods are the only goods that will become part of your domestic product or national product calculation.